So, a rapper named Logic interviewed his deadbeat daddy for his podcast, Logically Speaking. And a lot of emotions came up because his daddy did abandon him. And he had a baby with an alabaster woman who had systemic racism baked into her cake, baked into her life. And so he had some feelings. And so a couple of different outlets picked up this story. So I'll be doing two different articles because they both hit slightly different. How the heck you not going to show up for your namesake? That is so gross. Okay. Logic has always been upfront about his complicated relationship with his father. And on the latest episode of his podcast, he sat down for a chat with him and asked him why he abandoned him at such a young age. At the top of the interview with his dad, Robert Bryson Hall, Logic addressed that some of his lyrics about the relationship have made it difficult to reconnect in the past. I'm not here to paint you in no light. I know you've been upset previously about me being so vocal, so open, and so honest about the things you've done in your past. Logic said, noting that he didn't want to discredit who he is today. He added his father is now the strongest and the most honest he's ever been. These deadbeat dads who get, so just get so offended by the truth. Stop being a deadbeat dad. And that goes for the future deadbeat dads. Don't do this. Don't abandon your kid. After tackling some of the other aspects of their strained relationship, including his dad's struggles with addiction, Logic recalled times he would be told that his father was going to pick him up, only for him to never show. I packed my backpack because mom tells me that, my dad is going to come and pick me up because he promised that he would come pick me up. And he doesn't pick me up. I wait all day outside and I wait and you don't come. And it's not the first time. There's part of me that as grown as I am and as developed as I feel, there's still that little boy that's still waiting on the curb for his dad. Getting increasingly emotional, he said that this was a repeating thing between them, and he remained hopeful every weekend that he would show up. You always said that you would. I look at my son and I think about how much my son means to me, and I can never make him sit on a curb. And I don't say this to make you feel bad. I don't. I really love you. He added that he considers himself a man of my word, all because he found his father wasn't. I'm going to repeat that. Logic said that he considers himself a man of my word, all because he found his father wasn't. That hits. Stop being men that lack integrity. Stop lying. Later in the chat, around the 34-minute part onwards, they approach how Hall's substance abuse really impacted his ability to be the father that he should have been. What is it like as a man who used a substance? And what is it like using a substance that would allow you to make that little boy wait forever? Daddy says, it felt like being in hell. It felt like having something control me. So that's what it was, he responded. The drugs, like Rick James says, cocaine's a hell of a drug. I was young, self-centered, stupid as F, you know. But if I knew then what I know now, my life would probably be different for sure. So that article was from Complex. This one is from Atlanta Black Star, and they take on a slightly different angle. This one, the title is Logic Rips into His Black Father for Abandoning Him, then having the nerve to ask for $850,000 for a house. And Logic said that his white mother called siblings the N word. Actually, in this article, it says that she actually called him the N word too. All right, let's get into this one. Rapper Logic has a complicated relationship with his father, Robert Bryson Hall. All right, but we don't need to do the intro. So we're skipping down to where Daddy had the nerve to ask for money. All right, the breaking point came when the 34-year-old's father disregarded his repeated requests to not ask for money, crossing a significant line that the celebrity's son for years could not forgive. However, this conversation, along with one that had occurred over 16 hours prior, facilitated a profound understanding of their relationship and who they are as men. The father, whom Logic had perceived as self-centered and entitled, underwent a transformation, showed genuine consideration for others beyond himself, particularly his new wife and son. You know what? It's the first time in our relationship that I didn't want to block you, Logic said, recounting how his father asked him for money for his new family. Hall's perception of Logic, who grew up in the West Deer Park neighborhood of Gaithersburg, Maryland, has an estimated net worth of 13 million, appears to have changed. While previously seen by his dad as selfish and unwilling to share his wealth, now his father recognizes the compromising position that being rich in a family of poor people can create. It's the audacity for me. How you gonna call somebody selfish and you're a deadbeat? I'm literally disgusted. This spilled over after the recording artist confronted his dad about saying he didn't help people out. I have helped people in my family and I've helped people outside of my family. I've helped people afford homes. I've helped the homeless. I've helped people in my Black community. I've donated anonymously. Most people don't know all the things that I've done because I don't exploit the fact that I give, let alone to my Black community. I'm not out here trying to prove my Blackness. I'm not an N word who goes to the hood with an effing turkey every Thanksgiving. When you came to ask me for $850,000 to buy you a house studio for you and your band, now I've had my sister ask me to buy her a house. I've had my brothers ask me to give them money. I've given tens of thousands of dollars to my brothers and sisters, Logic said, noting that all of them have wasted the money. He claimed many people, his parents and his 7 half siblings, expect him to buy them homes, and how if he did, he would be spending millions of dollars. We did the math earlier today. It's you, it's my mama, it's my brother, it's my sister, it's my brother, my sister, it's my other sister, it's my other sister, it's my other brother, he said before saying not to add in children because that heightens the number. So if I'm going to buy y'all a decent house, that's half a mil. That's for 2 people, that's a million, 3 million, and 4.5 million just to purchase that, let alone a mortgage, let alone the other bills that come into it now. Okay, you got you a house. So then what's that? 9 houses. Let's talk about 9 cars that I got to pay for. He went on to add that he would have to supply those 9 cars with gas, as well as pay the monthly bills such as phone and cable. I'm going to keep going because guess what? If I if I'm paying all this money, ain't nobody all welfare no more. I guess ain't nobody on welfare no more. Then he says, outside of money, Logic talked about being raised by a mother who often used racialized language in the house to tear him down. My mother, Terry Lee Miller, who was married, I don't know, 3, 4 times, all to Black men, has systemic racism built into her. My mother used to call me an N word. Did you know that? He said not only did she call him that, but she called his brothers and sisters that too. So that is a lot of times with this dynamic of these Ashgardian males and these alabaster women, how they get together. They form this toxicity that just comes out. And the children, the biracials of TikTok, the biracials are getting on these social media platforms and telling their story. Y'all, like I said, I don't really know this. And it doesn't matter about who he is specifically, but he is telling the story of the trauma that these pairings create and that these deadbeats create. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.